Alright guys, welcome to the Red Report. In this show we take a look at some news that I deem worthy of your time. First up, Ship Showdown has begun. This year, same as every other year, CIG takes submissions from the community and builds up a table of who is everyone's favourite ship. At the minute, the ships all enter a face-off, and the final 4 ships, if you own them in your hangar, will receive a free skin. This year they said they will be taking into account the amount the ships are flown, used in combat, etc. To keep the battle fearsome balanced, the top 16 will be divided into distinct ship divisions: heavy duty industrial, speed demons, combat, exploration, transport, exotic, which is like aliens, ground vehicles, and the little ones. There will be a free fly, and the last 8 ships will be available to test, starting August 26. Vehicles not eligible for voting are the Sabre Raven, Argo Atlas Icti, all variants, Greycat PTV, Xperia Glaive, Vandal Scythe, Mustang Omega, and Aegis Idris. That last one is a little controversial, I must say, and the reason they gave is due to the performance impact of including it in the free fly event, should it make it to the last 8, which is slightly worrying, not gonna lie. They do have a point. Everybody flying around a free fly Idris would probably tank the servers, but I hope they realise one day they need to be ready for that inevitability when everybody reaches the end game of the game. Anyway, you can fly an F8C in game right now up until 8 o'clock tonight UTC, as it was last year's winner. The F8C will be made available for pledge, but only to accounts previously activated through the Gold Pass license events, which is a massive bummer again. And even if you did have one of those golden tickets, silver tickets, it would still run you £300 with no CCU options at all. So yeah, it's weird that they're even allowing the F8C to be in the contest if a lot of people can't have access to it. Also, if you guess every head-to-head matchup right and flawlessly, in Phase 2 you'll walk away with the Nostradamus Spectrum badge. As you can see, some people are happy about this, but there is a distinct percentage that are not. Opening up with a lot of deleted comments there. Few people in these comments saying put the Idris in, but don't include it in the free fly, which would be fair enough. In recognition of the Idris's enduring popularity, it will be made available for pledge during the Elite 8 free fly. So you can buy it, you just can't vote for it. Fascinating. A lot of people in these comments voting for the free elevators, which is hilarious. Anyway, the roadmap roundup was released. We are getting AI FPS turrets, anti-personnel turrets for players to avoid or destroy. In 4.3, also sniper light armor Geist. Googled that shit. There's Wicklow variants of this. This is a light combat stealth suit, and there's an ASD light combat stealth suit as well. There are 3 new hairstyles. A medium utility armor called Ambrose. I'm sure I've already seen parts of that in the game, in loot boxes, so maybe it's a variant, and that's 4.3x. So ladders are getting fixed, hopefully that means they won't be sticky, and we're getting dynamic snow, which is gonna be freaking awesome. The Onyx facilities. Located on every moon of the Stanton system, these enormous multi-level structures are used for the new sandbox activity coming in Alpha 4.3. They really hitting us hard with every patch with these sandbox activities. I'm all for it, I love it, I'm not gonna lie. I know there's more basic things that probably should take precedent, but having these dotted around the place in the end is just gonna make for such a more interesting universe. So yeah, get them in while the goings are good. As far as I'm aware, we've not seen these before, but I could be wrong about that. Mission pickup on locations, so enabling new missions to be discovered and added to journals when you approach or enter a designated area. So say you go to an outpost, you can maybe start picking up repair missions and things like that. That would be pretty cool. Seems pretty basic, but would be pretty cool. Some new ships getting added to Wicklow's Emporium. The Misk Star Lancer TAC, the Drake Golem, and the Anvil Terrapin Medic. All with upgraded components, obviously. As usual, these all look absolutely awesome. A Volt Laser Sniper. called the Zenith, introducing a new powerful weapon that combines the raw punch of a charged sniper shot with the rapid fire precision of a marksman rifle. The Zenith Sniper Rifle's ability to automatically charge when held, giving you far more flexibility in the battlefield at the cost of being audible to possible hostiles. Managing heat will be an issue, as it can render the weapon inoperable and exposed. All good stuff. Now, obviously, there are some big omissions here. There's still no fire, there's still no engineering, there's still no updated flight models and quantum boosting and all that stuff. Yeah, and listen, I know sometimes it doesn't seem like the year of stability is very bloody stable, and I'm not trying to gaslight anybody here, but I think it is a lot stabler. It's just the focus that they're putting on certain things illuminates massive problems, such as freight elevators. I think if we get to the end of this resource drive and we still have no working elevators, we can start to maybe say this maybe isn't going to work. I know that's a terrible, bold statement, but I think the point of resource drive is to put all this pressure on that cargo system to get it fixed. And for our trouble, we get some free skins if we can put up with it. But compared to the start of the year, like just after Christmas, this game was a mess. I did a review back then and I basically said do not freaking buy this game, like under any circumstances unless you hate yourself. Like, that's how bad it was. I would actually recommend this game in its current state to people, with some caveats obviously. Like back then you couldn't even quantum jump across the place, like it was really bad. And I haven't had a night where it's been so frustrating I've had to leave the game for a long time. I could just be lucky. The resource drive definitely pushed that button a lot for a lot of people. But most nights outside the resource drive, everything's just running smoothly. And that might be because there's no missions to complete around the place that there used to be, fair enough. But in general, things do seem to be running better. So the omission of fire and engineering and all that stuff is a hard pill to swallow, but I do believe they are slowly getting there on their promise of making this a playable game. And people that say, why do they keep putting out these events that don't work? I think they're putting out these events specifically to stress areas of the game that they want to focus on fixing. But you're right, it would be good to see something big coming in 4.3. Even just, I don't know, some work on the transit system or something big in the background. Anyway, rant over. Let's check the progress tracker. In the progress tracker, base building and crafting look to be coming to an end around about October, the start of November. There is something for FPS and radar scanning just come to a close, and that's for Star Citizen and Squadron 42. Hopefully we'll see that sometime soon. Supporting much greater distances and dampening of signatures by environmental interference, and larger structures will be available in ships, ground vehicles and FPS. To be honest, it's pretty light in terms of overall news here. One interesting thing is that cooperative zones has been temporarily removed. This means these Onyx facilities are now sandbox activities rather than cooperative zones, which would have been instanced and safe, basically. So the Onyx facilities will be PvEVP. But I mean, that's all good, as long as they come eventually and give people some options if they just want to play in peace. I have no problem with that. I'll definitely be giving this Onyx facility an explore around. I'm pretty sure this isn't what was intended originally, and quite a few people seem to be upset in the emotes down here. But personally, I'll take any gameplay I can get at this point. Going around some of the older events in the game or places in the game, the contested zones, the Hathor sites, things like that, they're all pretty much empty these days. Like, you could just waltz right in and do the whole thing by yourself. And these Onyx facilities will be the same in a few patches. Same with the Valakar. Once the interest dies down and things dissipate a bit, your chances of avoiding murder hobos goes up significantly. Never zero though. Okay, onto the resource drive. Recently it has become apparent that nearly every single freight elevator is broken, and the on-foot mission to collect boxes is returning the wrong number of boxes to be handed in, and when I change to the urgent mission to just hand over the boxes anyway, I'm not getting the results. So basically all I have left is the recover ship missions, which is crazy. But being forced into that tunnel, we have picked up some efficiency, let's say, along the way. These larger ships can be sometimes heavily damaged, so the time you take to get from the entrance to the ship, whatever entrance that is, to the cockpit needs to be as fast as possible, as I'm sure you're already aware. But the most efficient method is just to take a ship that you can get out of as quickly as possible. A Mustang, a Gladius, an Arrow, a Razor, fly past the ship and either jump out or eject. If it's the C2, use the elevator. If it's the Caterpillar, use the door nearest the cockpit, the cargo door nearest the cockpit. And as soon as you get in that seat, you are engines on, into quantum mode, and start spooling that drive at the nearest destination straight away, and just get out of there. Once you've handed that in, should be about 10 minutes of your time. There is sometimes a delay trying to pick up the mission again. If that's the case, you can take one of the smaller ones. They give you about 50 SCU of cargo. If it's the freelancer, just abandon it. That's not going to happen. If it's the MSR, you can make it to the cockpit and get away with the ship. By the time you've done that, you should have a large cargo ship mission again. So hopefully that helps you out if you're in the same boat as me. In other news, I'd like to promote this event for Science. Basically, you get a set of clues on their Discord and you have to hunt him down and kill him. If you kill him, you win a raft. This is a giveaway. And believe me, killing that guy will not be easy. But if that sounds like something you'd like to try, I'll leave a link to all the details below. That's all for this little video. These are just the filler in between the main videos that we're working on in the background. It really starts to get to me if I don't put up a video every now and again. I know they're small, I know the content is more low effort than some of the bigger videos, but I need that constant feed of comments and likes now. I'm addicted just to sustain me. So every now and again I'll take a day, I'll put out a different kind of video and I'll keep working on the bigger ones in the background. I'm not going to tell you what the bigger video is, it's a surprise, but you're going to love it. Obviously you're going to love it, hopefully you're going to like it. Anyway, if you know anyone looking to get into Star Citizen, use one of the codes on screen for some extra starting credits. If you'd like to become a member, use the join button below and get your referral displayed, etc, etc, extra entries into any giveaways we do. And we've also started displaying a single referral code from this list in the description and the comments for any shorts that we do. And according to the members, this is working. Quite a few of them have got the first few steps up the referral ladder already by doing this. So, as usual, if that's your cup of tea, thank you all for watching. 07 guys.